Oh boy, guys, we have a fun one for you today. We're going to be reacting to a Steam curator that I follow for mainly for the lulz. They're called Woke and Censored Games Alert. So this is like one of these Steam curator lists where they try to inform their fellow Steam gamers about various games. You've probably seen some of these other ones like Sweet Baby Ink Detected, DEI Detected, and so on. There's other ones out there, of course. But this is the one I like to follow because they have some crazy, crazy explanations for their recommendations, or more likely not recommendations. So we're going to go ahead and get into it here. We're going to start off with some of the most recent titles that they have not recommended, such as Lunar Abyss. I've heard this is a pretty good first-person shooter that's kind of like a bullet hell style, kind of like first-person Saros or Returnal from what I've seen. It's got a very cool art style. But they don't recommend it because the protagonist is a they, not a she. Well, if they were a she, they probably still wouldn't recommend it because you'll notice a running theme with this particular thing. But we'll get into that in a little while. We've got, of course, the upcoming Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, which, of course, I talked about Black Flag a little bit in the Ubisoft video I did recently, if you want to check that out. But, oh no, they made Anne Bonny's clothes to be less revealing compared to the original. Oh no, less digital cleavage, guys. We ain't getting them cheeks on this one. No, 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 no. Not from Ubisoft. You're going to have to go elsewhere. You're going to have to play the original Black Flags. Don't play this one. We got Subnautica 2. They don't recommend this one. Devs refuse to add weapons and fighting system to the game because they are anti-weapons, anti-violence, and they compared using force against fish to colonization. Colonization. I'm not going to fact check this. I have a feeling that the devs did not specifically cite this comparison about fighting fish to colonization. I don't think that ever happened, but this is what they claimed. So we'll just assume it's accurate. Talk about wild, regardless. But I did a video about Subnautica 2, if you want to take a look at that. Nothing to do with this stuff, obviously. But the devs have already mentioned why they don't have the fighting, from what I understand. And part of that reason is the first game didn't have it either. So, I mean, if you were upset that you couldn't kill fish in the first game, well, I mean, are you going to be surprised that you can't do it in the second one either? Like, were they hoping for, like, this was going to be like the Rambo First Blood Part 2 of the Subnautica genre, I guess? I don't know. Okay, we got Paralives. This is like a new Sims type game. It's supposed to be pretty popular. But they don't recommend this one because it's a life sim promoting diversity utopia, interracial, and same-sex marriages. Oh no, we can't be having that, even though like all of these games have those elements. So I guess they just don't like any of these style of games, you know. But I digress. We got Forza Horizon 6, which is a racing game. You wouldn't think this one would be controversial, but you can choose 3 body types and pronouns. Pronouns! Gender ambiguity! Oh, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. They do recommend Crimson Desert because the devs said they will reverse the censorship. This was talking about the Cheatgate thing, of course, that happened a while back. I did a video on that one if you guys want to check that one out. But yeah, I just knew that was going to be a thing. But, you know, because the devs said they would reverse it, you know, I guess they recommend it now. Also, the fact that you can punch a woman in the game, you know, it's like a woman criminal that you can punch a bunch of times. There was some certain people that really got a kick out of that. Oh, we got Aphelion. Oh no, they don't recommend this one. That's a shame. Why not? Oh, it's because you play as a bald female astronaut trying to save a male damsel in distress. You can't be having that. That's exactly the opposite of what good old Anita was saying that games are doing. So we can't be having that. We got an intergalactic before intergalactic here with Aphelion, apparently. Okay, we got some more here. Welcome to Elderfield. I actually previously was recording this and I didn't have it on the wish list at the time, but I added to the wish list. I'll show you why in a little bit. But they don't recommend it because it features body type in the character creation screen instead of gender, which we're going to get into that in a little bit because in addition to like some of these crazy hot takes that this wish list, this curator has, they also have a lot of hypocrisy involved, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm going to show you that game real quick here. This actually looks pretty cool. So, it looks like it's going to be a farming game, kind of like, Stardew Valley, of course. But it has like all these cool horror imagery and like horror elements. Looks like it's going to have some kind of RPG style combat too, based on that graphic. That's one that I was like, oh, that actually looks pretty cool. That's one I'm going to take a look at for sure whenever that comes out. But we'll go ahead and go back here. Now we got What the Golf. What the Golf. Okay. They don't recommend this one because it contains political flags in several levels of the Lab 2 area. And also one of the additional episodes, A Whole New World. No, can't have political flags in this game. I'm sure they'd be okay with it if it's a certain 4-letter, political flag abbreviation. They'd probably be cool with that. But I digress. Let's take a look at some of the more recent, like to say the top sellers. We'll take a look at that. We're going to take a look at some of these here because you'll notice there is some media hypocrisy because for Call of Duty, having political flags and emblems, it's not recommended. It's just informational. They're just informing you that it has political flags. So it's okay to get Call of Duty if you want, but not What the Golf. I wonder if it's because of the type of political flags. I don't know. But that's curious that they have that difference there. It's kind of weird. Oh, here's another one right here. Elden Ring. It's also not recommended. I guess because that game's actually good according to them. But their thing is used as a term body type A and type B. Okay, so we don't have gender selection on this one either, but I guess good old Elden Ring gets a pass. Same with Helldivers 2, body type A, type B in the character customization. Oh, geez. Oh, and Fallout 76, political flags given away as free content. You can't be having free political flags in our video games, people. Well, actually, you can if you're woke, censored games alert. Oh, okay. We got Baldur's Gate 3 has pronouns and other woke stuff. Other than that, it's a good RPG. It's a good RPG where you can have sex with a bear. Absolutely love it. But here's one of my absolute favorites, GTA 5. I think this was actually the one that made me follow this creator. This is the one I was like, oh man, I gotta see this. But they don't recommend GTA 5, specifically this version, by the way, the enhanced edition. Because this version has been modified in various ways for the modern audience, i.e., trans NPCs are no longer showing up at the nightclub, probably because Rockstar doesn't want players to kill them. The funny thing is, what if they had the trans people? Then you'd be bitching about there being trans people. You just cannot win. You just cannot win. I guess everybody has to be a white dude or a scantily clad lady who's also white, or that could be Asian in that case. That's okay. Okay, and there's a good old Overwatch. A lot of woke and forced DEI checkboxes, character designs, especially characters that were added post-launch. Ooh, no, can't be having that. Can't be having that. But you know what? They're not too harsh about censorship from China when it comes to Marvel Rivals. Again, only informational. It has sexy character designs. However, the game has over-the-top censorship in the chat, mostly for terms that are banned in China, such as pro-Taiwan, pro-Hong Kong, Tiananmen, and Winnie the Pooh. So you can't be, you're getting like clearly censored in the game chat, but you know what? They don't care that much over at Woke and Censored Games Alert. They're okay with that one, obviously. Oh, we can't be having Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, even though this was like a fan favorite of these crowds with the first game because director confirmed that Henry can choose to be gay in this game. Fun fact, this only happens one time in the game, and it only happens if you make all the right specific choices for it. So if you probably aren't going to be seeing that interaction in the game at all unless you happen to be gay yourself. So whatever. Oh, and of course, the female, the body types and crossover male, female voices, heads, and arc raiders. No, you cannot be having that. Battlefield says forced girl bosses. They forced the girl bosses onto you guys, and DEI in single player mode. Also have the 50-50 ratio that soldiers are going to be spawned as males, females, so it ruined the atmosphere of the battlefields. Now, I would say you should give the player the choice to choose the gender that they want to spawn in. Like, I don't think it's all that. I don't think it'd be that cool to have them not have a choice in that. But talk about hilarious, especially, well, it's a little different with Helldivers because Helldivers, like I said, they have just a type A and type B, but you get to choose your voice. So I think they're always the same voice, regardless of the type that spawns, which, they're like all clones that are basically expendable. So it's whatever. Okay. We got Civ 7. I've been playing some Civ 7 lately. It's been pretty solid. I've been really appreciating some of the new updates they've done. But this game is pushing woke agendas by having many playable female leaders that contradicting their historical counterparts. So I guess unless, I guess you had if you had Queen Elizabeth or Joan of the Arc or something like that, like an actual female leader, I guess Cleopatra, all the other female characters, they shouldn't be leaders in this one, although I would guess they wouldn't like any of them. Oh yeah, they didn't like The Sims 4 either. The devs publishers publicly stated their intention to push identity political agendas by adding such content to the game. See the link below. You know what? Let's look at that. Let's look at that link. Okay. Oh, that sounds right. Yep. The good old typical stuff. Yep. This definitely reads exactly like they said there. Now, EA is getting bought out, of course, by the Saudi government, so I'm sure we'll see some changes to that potentially. Unless, of course, they just want to be hands-off about it. That's also possible as well. Let's see what's on sale that we can see here. Oh, yeah, of course, Ready or Not. I don't know if I talked about this one. This game got trashed a lot after some certain censorship things because it was on PC only for a long time, and they made some content changes, and that did get it trashed. So this one actually kind of agree on here because, that's kind of not cool. If they censored the console version specifically, yeah, I get that, so that they can meet the guidelines to release on the consoles, but they should not have censored the PC version if that was already cool with them before. At the very least, give the player an option, like maybe when they first launched the game, ask if they want whatever to be censored or not. And, I think that would have been the way to handle it. So there are a few that are cool there. Apparently they don't have a problem with Hogwarts Legacy, even though it has a transgender character in that game. That's fine at all. Apparently Pal World's recommended. They don't use the term gender. They use type, but it's woke free, guys. There is, that they might have a case with that one because you have slavery, animal slavery in this game. So I guess that kind of, they can overlook type for that situation. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Of course, we had the classic Assassin's Creed Shadow with Yasuke, a historical black guy to be the main protagonist. Blah, blah. You guys know all about that one, of course. They removed the Confederate flag from this version. You can't have the Confederate flag in the definitive edition of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The defective edition, I like to call it. Just play the original PS2 version if you want to get your rebel pride going. That's cool. Let's see. Control unattractive, quote, real, or in parentheses, realistic, strong female protagonist, but it's not recommended. It's just informational. So you probably noticed like with certain games, games like Control and Elden Ring, these games that are like critically acclaimed that practically everybody loves, they're gonna get like at least a bit of a pass from these guys because like, well, shit, this goes completely against our agenda, but this game kind of slaps, so we'll just hit it with an informational. Like I said, Kingdom Come, the first one, they recommend that one because you can't be gay in that one. That's the only difference. Uh, but yeah, I just get a crack out of these, man. Anytime I just want a good laugh while I'm on the Steam store page, I just look these guys up and just read what they have to say about some of the recent games. Oh no, they censored the sexy outfits in Onimusha 2. Shame on you, Capcom. Don't you know what the weebs want? You should know this by now. Okay. But just wanted to have a good little laugh for you guys. Hope you're having a great day. And thank you very much for checking out this video. If you haven't, be sure to check out the most recent video that I did. It's right above my head there. I think you're going to dig it. And the other corner, you're going to see something that the YouTube algorithm is going to send to you that is probably going to be fire. I hope it is. Let me know if it's not, though. And don't forget to subscribe down there. But that's going to be the last line.